All right, once again, we have BYU beat writer Jeff Call joining us after a bye week as BYU prepares for Utah State. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing wonderfully. All right, so what did Bronco Mendenhall have to say of note yesterday in his press conference about the bye week?
I just think that he said that they were very physical and intense. Um, this is the type of team, he said, that really likes to be competitive and to be physical, and just made sense, especially after the Virginia game, to kind of try to maintain that momentum that they build up, uh, to continue that way, and that's how they did. I guess last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they went pretty hard. Took the weekend off, prepared for Utah State on Friday, and then went back out on a Monday. So they're ready for this Friday.
Awesome. So you wrote that BYU could expect to see two quarterbacks on Friday, namely Chuckie Keeton and Darrell Garretson. How big of a difference is there between these two quarterbacks, and how does that affect BYU's preparation?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just that Chuckie is such a dynamic playmaker, as we've seen in the past. The way he can do things that very few quarterbacks can do. At this point, I think it's still up in the air which quarterback will play. We still don't know. I don't think BYU knows for sure, so they're still operating on the assumption that Chuckie could play despite his recent knee problems. I think they're going to prepare for both, and I don't think their game plan defensively will change much no matter who they play. But definitely they respect both quarterbacks, and they particularly know what Chuckie can do.
With BYU not playing Utah this year, would you consider the Utah State game the rivalry game this season?
Well, for the most part, I would say that I think Boise State is kind of gradually becoming a rivalry for BYU just because they have this long-term contract. They're going to be playing for a long time. There have been some memorable games between the two teams. But as of right now, as far as in-state games, yeah, I mean, Utah State's it. And in recent years, we have seen the games become a little bit more competitive and things like that, although BYU has won a few in a row. But yeah, I think this is, as far as a rivalry, this is probably the closest BYU is going to come this year to that.
And finally, the Cougars have a chance to impress on ESPN on a Friday night. Do they need so-called style points against the Aggies, or do they just need to remain unbeaten to continue on track for something along the lines of a New Year's Six Bowl?
Well, obviously they've got to keep winning no matter what, no matter how many they win by. They've got to just win, and that's going to be a tall enough order, I think, just to keep that perfect record, because it's only happened once in the long history of BYU football. So I think that's the number one thing. But on the other side, yeah, they need to, with the game being as late as it is, I think especially on the East Coast, a lot of the people back there will probably just see the final score. And if they see the BYU's won by a big margin, that's going to help a little bit, I think. But like I said, to me, the focus seems to be just to win games and to keep this thing rolling. I think Utah State is a team that they'll be fired up for this game, and BYU's got to be prepared. The Aggies aren't going to lay down in this one. So defensively, the Aggies are a pretty good challenge, and it's going to be an interesting game. I think BYU, after coming off the bye week, it's going to be really interesting to see if there's a little bit of rust there, if there's a little bit of based on the way they played defensively against Virginia, if there's a little apprehension there or whatnot. But it's going to be a good game, and I think if BYU can win this handily, obviously it's going to help them move up in the polls and help them get to the destination they want to get to this year.
All right, as always, Jeff Call, thank you very much for imparting your BYU wisdom.
Okay, thanks for having me.